As the wheel of life spins round, flipping between a different annoyance on a weekly basis, this week's theme is spontaneity and how it can be used incorrectly as an excuse for bad behaviour. In wanting to appear mysterious and flexible, being spontaneous can actually make you unreliable, unreachable and inflexible, unwilling to accommodate to those who want to plan something with you. And so they have to abide by your ever-changing schedule instead. Arranging plans with these types of people is like speaking to the wind. They love to talk about meeting up, but when it actually comes to arranging a date, they go, let's just play it by ear, let's be spontaneous. Then weeks go by, then months, then years. As a final Hail Mary, you then give them other dates to try to pin them down, but it's like sticking the tail on a donkey with no arse. If you look at the definition of a spontaneous personality, it means to be unconstrained and unstudied in behaviour, and being inflexible, refusing to meet people in the middle who like to plan and making them bend to your way of life fall short of this definition. In other words, you can constrain yourself to your perceived unconstrained lifestyle, and this cognitive dissonance is insufferable for yourself and others. I realise this is more of a rant than usual, so let me come clean. As is often the case, the disgust we project onto others we usually do ourselves, and this is no different. As the adage goes, when you point one finger, there are 3 fingers pointing back at you. Lo and behold, I was this guy working in an office looking down at the types of people who would book a holiday a year in advance with horror. When they would try to get me to use my holiday, I'd resent the planners even more and my smugness filled the room. Now I cringe at how difficult I was being, just to hold on to an arbitrary concept of freedom. My rationale at the time was if you book a holiday so far away, the expectations will balloon so much that by the time you get to it, you're bound to be disappointed. But I didn't consider the maturity encased in the method, as well as the motivation it gives to get you through the tough days, or if you forget about it, it's a nice surprise when it comes around. All it showed was I didn't have responsibilities to work around, no kids, just me, my immature self and I. Getting the right balance. However, this isn't to say that some spontaneity isn't good and we can hit the right balance without being self-centered and stubborn. For starters, if you enjoy being spontaneous and just like doing stuff randomly, don't get annoyed if someone can't make it and take the pressure out of the situation. Instead, say, want to meet up? Short notice I know, so no pressure if not. Sometimes you need to sacrifice your lifestyle to accommodate others. Remember, this counts as true spontaneity, as planning every now and then falls under the definition of being unconstrained and unstudied in behaviour, as you're not constraining yourself in a box of the same action. Instead, your willingness to compromise shows how fluid your spontaneity is. The reputation of the word compromise has fallen out of favour recently, but unjustly. At the peak of my obsession with spontaneity, I remember reading the book Never Split the Difference by the FBI negotiator Chris Voss, and this quote has been annoying me ever since I realised the error of my ways. In his words, splitting the difference is wearing one black and one brown shoe, so don't compromise. Best of luck taking that into your relationships. So, spontaneity is best when it's formless, being as flexible as you can be and willing to accommodate other people's needs. As is the fundamental law of life, we need to reach the middle of both extremes. If you have a controlled lifestyle, bring in some spontaneity to compensate. Go out somewhere new with no plan, go shopping without a shopping list. And conversely, if you're too spontaneous, introducing structure and responsibility can help you pinpoint your personal middle ground. Whatever side you come from, all that matters is to never be dismissive of the people coming from the other direction as you, and meet them in the middle. With that in mind, and because I've just realised it's been me offloading, took me a while I know, let's finish with a quote by Bruce Lee. Don't get set into one form, adapt it and build your own, and let it grow. Be like water. Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless. You put water in a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water in a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend. Thanks for watching, and if you want more where this came from, check out my overthinking playlist to quiet the noisy mind. See you next time.